My name is Twan Simultaneous, and I am your MC of the evening, and this is the Grand Slam. So over the last few weeks, we have had many students compete between two different regions. We had the North Slam, and of course we had the Valley Slam, and they have all gathered their best poets of the evening, of their respected evening, to be here tonight to battle it out for this title known as the Grand Slam Championship. So, are you guys ready? We're gonna have one heck of a show. All right. So tonight we will hear from 13 poets from East Valley, Lakeside, Micah Peak, Ridgeline, and Riverside High. In the first round, we'll hear poems from all of these poets. And we have 5 amazing judges here who are going to score these poets on a score of 1 to 10. And of course, there is going to be a decimal there. So if a poet, performs and someone thought, hey, that was nearly perfect, but it wasn't perfect, I want to give them a 9.9. That's a really good score. So you want to get loud for them. You want to go crazy. Can I hear you get loud one time? See, I'm losing it over here. And let's say, they give them a poor score. We don't like those scores. And so can I hear a really loud boo? All right. So, our judges, we are going to have each of them put up their scores at the end of every round. And we're going to eliminate the bottom score and the top score. And those 3 middle scores is going to be the final score of each poet. And I know many of you in this audience were at the last 2 slams. I see some faces that are new. Welcome. This is a poetry slam. At a poetry slam, we get loud, we get rashes, we get out of control, but we are respectful to the poets. So I don't want to hear anyone heckling the poets. I want to hear you as I'm introducing these poets, I want you to get loud for them. I want you to jump up out of your seat. I want you to stomp. I want you to clap. I want you to shout. But don't heckle them. You heckle your hosts, heckle the judges, but don't heckle the poets. Because we're all full of emotions, and it takes a lot of courage to get up here and perform, especially in such a tense and spiritual evening like this final Grand Slam. So, of course, there are prizes. Tonight, 3rd place will win $50. 2nd place will win $100, and 1st place will win $150 and will be your Grand Slam champion. But nonetheless, the fact that all 13 of you are here this evening on this stage, throwing it down in the finals, that's something in itself, and the journey doesn't stop here, no matter what happens on this stage tonight. And it's even more so a reward that each person in this building gets to hear your experience and your creativity come through this beautiful microphone that I was admiring from afar because it is so majestic. It's just, oh man, I'm a little envious myself. This mic is all right, but this right here, all right. With that said, get control of myself. So of course, I already went over the etiquette. So no heckling our poets this evening. So let's get down to the 5 judges who are both our protagonists. Well, no, our poets are our protagonists. If anything, you guys are striving not to be the antagonists. So please be kind to our poets, or you will fear the wrath of each member in this audience. You better believe there's mothers, grandfathers, and aunts, uncles, moms, dads, and guardians alike in this building. So, please be kind, but truthful, So with that said, our first judge of the evening, we have, he lives and writes in Spokane, Washington. He co-founded the popular Broken Mic Poetry Series and has traveled the United States performing at open mics, poetry slams, taverns, coffee shops, and libraries. From 2017 to 2019, he served as Spokane's Poet Laureate. His first book, Scarecrow Oracle, was published by the Corrective Press in 2022. Give it up for Mark Anderson! She is a local writer and educator who currently works at Roger High School as the college and career counselor. She represented Spokane in the 2016 National Poetry Slam in Oakland, California. Get loud one time for Emily Gwen. She earned an MFA in creative writing from Eastern Washington University in 2003. Her latest poem, Baby Sitcom, is forthcoming in issue 27 of Redaction. When Melissa was in high school, she liked driving alone at night on the fringes of town, where the blue-white moonlight cooled her orange-black embers of uncertainty. Get loud for Melissa Rhodes! She is a poet who especially likes writing and performing spoken word poetry. In her downtime, she enjoys playing soccer, watching TV shows, reading, snowboarding, and exploring nature with her therapy dog, Theo, and partner, Ann. Give it up for Amanda Nelson! His book, After Our Departure, was chosen by poet Nancy Van Winkle as the winner of the Powderhorn Prize. His book, The Meanest Things Pick Clean, incorporates found slide images collected from thrift stores and estate sales in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. He is a tenured professor of English at Spokane Falls Community College. Get loud one time for Ben Cartwright. So, of course, before we get into this finals, we have a sacrifice that we must give to the poetry gods because it sends good juju our way and helps us put on one heck of a show. So, of course, I want you to get loud one time for our sacrificial poet for the third time. Get loud for AP the Warrior!
See, this is what I'm talking about. I really was, y'all. I was looking forward to using this mic myself. I'm not going to hold y'all. Like, when I was sitting over there in the corner and I peeped this mic, I was like, yes. The name of this piece is called Big Different. I wrote this about 2 years ago now, going on 2 years ago, about 2 summers ago. It's about my dad, and you'll kind of just hear all the references. I hope you guys enjoy. I thank Pops all the time for the way that he raised me. I'm big different. Some of these other work ethics are fugazi. Manners to be lazy. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. People wonder why I rather duck them. I'm talking Donald and Daisy. Goofies is what they're choosing to be. Well, I do it to the max, but you can check the stats. My first job was at Office Max. Since 2014, I've been sending facts, but you can't copy and print that. What you can copy is these mannerisms. I'm not saying I'm better than them, just more respectful and polite. I'm 3.5 years into my 5-year plan, infantry, the baby, green light, let's go. I be feeling like I don't be popping enough, I be humble. I rep 4s like I'm stunner, 200 for lunch like I'm gonna. Don't mess with AP, he's a headhunter. Well, y'all are a headhunting like some squirrels. The Warrior's been a savage. This season 2, a boy meets world. Thank y'all.
Give it up for AP the Warrior! All right, and of course, being a sacrificial poet, the judges get to show their scores to our audience, and this is also a warm-up. Cheers and jeers, so you know what to do, all right. So, judges, on the count of 3, can I get those scores? 3, 2, 1. Are we ready? No, not ready. Yeah, give them time. They're just as nervous as I am on this mic. You know, I'm telling you, it's beautiful here, but woo-wee, man, some of you look stern. As soon as you see your kid or whoever you came to see tonight, you're going to lighten up. So I'm trusting you, poets. Save me up here. All right. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Let me see them scores. All right. We have a 9.7. An 8.1, an 8, a 7.8, and an 8.0. Ooh, I just love it. You know, it's really packed in here. So those boos and those screams, those are felt, man. Oh, got goosebumps up my spine right now. Oh, all right. And we have a 24.1 for AP the Warrior. All right. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready for an evening of creativity? These poets gonna throw it down. So, if you think Micah Peak's gonna win this thing, can I hear you get loud? If you think Riverside's gonna win this thing, can I hear you get loud? If you think Ridgeline is going to win this slam, can I hear you get loud? East Valley, if you're in the building, let me hear you get loud. And last but not least, Lakeside, where are you at? Yeah, there we go. All right. That's what that, we're ready. We got the jitters all out. We're ready to do this thing. So, poets, do your thing. 7 of you are going to the next round. The time is now. So let's do this. On deck, we have Allie Aitken from Ridgeline High. But gracing the stage first in the Grand Slam, get loud for Rowan Agnew.
So, first of all, don't look too far into this, and I like to call this one a robot in love. I helped him generate his political speeches, even when my servers were too busy. I aided him when he went swimming too early after eating. I looked up to a cure the cure to a disease spread by leeches, yet he still treats me more like a tool rather than a person with feelings. Well, I'm not really a human because of my circuit board brain, but I still feel frustrated that I can't find the courage to stop helping him move forward his tyrannical campaign. Ironically enough, he's a little screwed up, or at least that's what the top search result relays when he can't seem to shut up. So I guess being in love isn't all that good. Then I realized something I don't think my processor should. I switched to the history tab in a hurry, scrolling through countless search queries, then I found it. The one that proved my theory correctly. How to make a robot fall in love. Does that mean that without this guy, I can't appreciate anything else? Not a flower, a friendly ant, or the teardrop-filled night sky? Does that mean that my mind can't roam alone, always assisted by his thrift shop suit and tie? Are my feelings even real, or just a collage of photoshopped affection? I felt my enraged Spock self heated up, ticking like a clock about to go off and tell you that you overcooked your dinner once again. Then he walked into the room, just a little too soon. Then a white hot flash erupted and the world was silent. Charred, ash clouds, ringing of that clock. Or at least that's what I would assume, for all that was left of that Western decorated room was the outline of concrete. That's what created our tomb.
Get you. All right. Get loud for Rowan! All right, judges. On the count of 3, I want to see those scores. 3, 2, 1. Put them up. There we are. We have an 8.6. We got an 8.0. We have an 8.1. A 7.7 and an 8. And And our final score for Rowan is 24.1. All right. So, I want to practice something with you. So let's say a poet gets up here and is nervous or they forget their microphone and, and they're just looking at the crowd like a deer in headlights. So you already beat me to it. You want to rub your hands together like Mr. Miyagi style. Or if you don't know who that is, Cobra Kai style. Come on. You want to rub your hands together. That sends good energy. You can feel that. It's like, hey, the poet knows they are supported. It's a ritual. It's a proven fact. It works. Okay. We got that down, right? All right. So, on deck, we have Juniper Beason from East Valley. But Grace and the mic next. Get loud for Aitken!
So this poem is called Tone Deaf Defense. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe the song I sing isn't the right one. The path I'm going down might be lined with daisies and daffodils, but maybe it does lead to hell. Maybe I've been a tone-deaf fool all along. Not seeing the truth in the matter, right? Believing I'm a brain stuck in a rib cage, a fish stuck in an oak tree, a record skipping a beat to hide the fact that there's something else wrong with me. You might see a fish stuck in an oak tree, but you don't see me sitting in my room wearing baggy clothes while the bags under my eyes grow because I tried to hide them, along with my disproportionate name, my dimorphic face, and that dysphoric ache in my bones. While you choose to believe I've just been hypnotized by internet phases, but let me tell you, God decided what size shoe I am. The color of my hair and my unique grin. It wasn't me. And I also didn't choose these feelings. If God made me perfect the way I am, then He made me this way. He gave me these undeniable feelings like photograph clippings, these reels in my head that keep me reeling and shuddering as the shutter closes, as the light flashes on me, illuminating what I know, what I knew all along. I shouldn't have to tell you, no matter the clothes I wear or how much the waiting goes on, the way I feel isn't going to change because these feelings are not wrong. Put the brain back in my head, flip the record, let the fish fall out of the oak tree into the water where it belongs. This has everything to do with happiness, but it is not an indulgent thing. I'm tired of not wanting to make new friends because whatever face I show them isn't who I am. I'm tired of waking up in the cold, dark mornings wanting to skip school because of how much I'm hurting. And I'm done cowering on the ground, not standing up for who I should be. I know it's not always going to be daisies and daffodils, but the least you can do is give me a chance to walk on this path.
Get loud for Allie! Judges, can I see those scores? 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.8. We have an 8.6. Another 8.6. An 8.4. And a 9! Hey, there we go. I'm loving it. It's a wave of emotions up here. And I see we have a score of 26.2. On deck, we have Eleanor Brown from Riverside. But get loud for Juniper Beason!
This poem is called Phone Call, and it's about my phone. They say it's an addiction, an affliction of youth. I think that they're wrong. I don't think that's the truth. For all the time I've had it, it's been nothing but serene. Because the truth is, it's more than a screen. It's your aid, a friend, an ally indeed. Whatever you call it, it has what you need. It's the weather report in today's daily news. It's a place to share content, a place to get views. They keep us in contact and help us get stronger. If you think that I'm wrong, I'm about to get wronger. They're my generation's hub where we can all come together, not divided by land, love, or another. Our strengths and weaknesses divided because with one simple implement, we all stand united. Someone from so far away, across land and sea, with one easy phone call is connected with me. Your phone is a tool with a million uses. The world at your finger with the swipe of your hand. An unprecedented era of information is where we stand. Words can't do justice to something so grand. That here in this moment we can plot and plan. Why be divided when together we stand? With a common goal we can do so much better. We're all in this moment, so let's work together. You're not your phone's prisoner. Stop thinking so. If you think you're addicted, then I'll let you know it's an industry scheme. A profit of time. Delete your social medias. I promise you'll be fine. But don't blame your phone. It's your eyes in this world. The gift of knowledge in a metal casing. It's not your fault. Your rage is misplaced. Your phone is your pen, your sword, your voice. With it, you can share your views and your choice. Don't throw that away because others say it's wrong. It's your choice to make, so please stay strong. A phone is a tool. You choose how to use it. If you think it's a problem, you're using it wrong. I could list all its good points, but you'd still find a flaw. Mine is my solace. It makes my life easier. And if that's a problem, I don't mind at all. So save your judgment, because this is my call.
For Juniper! All right, judges, I am calling on you. Can I see those scores? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.6, an 8.2, an 8.4, a 7.9, and an 8. And an 8. And an 8. And an 8. All right. And our total score is a 24.6 for Juniper. So I have an announcement. The Get Lit Festival will take place on Thursday, April 20th through Saturday, April 23rd. This year's big event will be an author visit from U.S. Poet Laureate Ada Limon. Tickets are on sale now on the Get Lit website. Can I hear a round of applause for Get Lit? All right, so on deck we have Ava Bryant from Ridgeline High, but now get loud for Eleanor Brown.
The game of life. But life is not a game. You get a car, career, and kids. You choose a color and the ideal way to live, the game of life. But life is not a game. You don't pick a card to change your fate. You don't spin the wheel to make your day. Because we haven't got a clue. Everyone waltzing step by step from room to room, thinking they know who killed who. It was Plum with the revolver in the conservatory. But life's not some light-hearted murder mystery. It's complex. It's meshed with others' lives. They say sorry for the trouble. Roll again or pop the pop-o-matic bubble to see if you can reverse your spin. Get a number between 1, 2, and 10. You'll win. The game of life. But life is not a game. You don't just rule the day. You auction off properties, paying heftily to be the monopoly. But life isn't monopoly. It's poverty. It's broccoli, not confectionery. We don't stand in candy land, so eat your veggies. and have a balanced diet. Stack the cards just so against your opponent. Our life's purpose isn't to reach King Candy's castle. It's instead a never-ending battle, not the kind where you strategically place your ships to win, hit, or lose, miss, but one with rights and wrongs, and good and bad. It's a never-ending struggle that's hard to understand. Life is precariously balanced. In a tipsy Jenga tower, don't pull the wrong wood block, or your tower topples over. The game of life. But life is not a game, the game of life. But life's not quite the same. It isn't little red and white pegs that represent the best part of you, and the worst, the cursed, the dregs. It isn't colorful little squares that illustrate each step, old, new, or fair. It isn't solid wooden blocks that stack all your shameful failures up, 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 then kerplop. The game of life. But life isn't a game. Life is so much better. Something more than just a win that claims your fame, or cards, or dice. It's enemies and bad advice. Friends and making nice love and fate's design. We can't play pretend because now is the time for reality. In its awful, complicated, wonderful entirety, to take the win and win back our life.
Get loud for Eleanor Brown. And judges, you know what to do. Let me see those scores. 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.9, an 8.2, an 8.1, an 8.8, and a 9. You guys got this down. I think after 2 slams, this smooth. You will be even ready for next year. It's gonna be like Showtime at the Apollo next year. I'm telling you, you're gonna have someone yanking people from the crowd, from the stage. Like, hey, no, hopefully not. So with that said, what is our final score? We have a nice 26 for Eleanor Brown. On deck, we have Brandon Dean from Riverside High. But get loud one time for Ava Bryant.
This poem is titled Vixen. I am a wild beast, my body harboring an ecosystem. My eyes of tulips, my lips of a rose, my voice of morning birds with limpets on the sides of my gaping cave of a mouth, and creeks flowing along my riverbed cheeks, watering my gardens of hydrangeas for gratitude and peonies for a happy life, and begonia upon begonia, flashing their pretty pink petals and flaunting their beauty, a warning symbol to those threatening me with garden shears. My hair of a wild, quick brown fox, keen and withdrawn, crossing hurdles, evading the lazy dog laying across my path, using every trick in the book, every letter in the alphabet, winding my way through the maze of trees and brush, scraping my legs and splitting my nails and glancing over and seeing a fellow beast. See, he's running too, yet only he's running through an open field. My vixens and I racing for the same goal as him, told me aren't running fast enough, that we don't deserve, can't earn, aren't cut out for the same things as he, hunting the same rabbit under the same means, yet returning only with a tattered rabbit's foot. Flash dissolute grins, batting away reaching claws, shooting down the searching eyes, set back 100 yards and having to run even harder, even faster, tearing our muscles, stepping on toes, fighting the fat, lazy dogs who put us here in the first place, all because we acted too impolite. Our mothers brush our hair with sharp thistles, weeping silent tears, holding the resentment in their stomachs, sickened at the knowledge that we will face the same dogs, the same splitting nails, and be crushed under the aching envy of our wild beast brothers, knowing that despite how keen or withdrawn we might be, the night will always be our predator, shrouded in the light of the moon and wished the best of luck by the stars, the only witnesses to the shadows following our tails. I'm a wild beast, and I'm existing among other monsters, aching to shove me back into the cocoon I emerged from, a butterfly forced back into metamorphosis. Their eyes of a hawk, lips of a snake, teeth dripping saliva, begging for the taste of fresh meat, they bite and tear, flashing their pearly whites and snapping their jaws, disregarding self-respect, flinging the blood of their victims, and embracing their instinctual urges to prey upon my vixens and I. Must I remind you of the attributes of a fox? Must I remind you that we are keen, we are wild, and we will fight with the rage and resentment buried into our split-ended fur and boiling in our stomachs? We will fight against those dogs tooth and nail until we emerge from our cocoons once again as the wild beasts we are intended to be, with pink rhododendrons blossoming on our cheeks and our teeth glistening in our mouths, a reminder that we are forever feral and we will not forfeit the space alongside our brothers.
Give it up for Ava! And so, judges, do we have our scores ready? 3, 2, 1. Can I see those scores? We have an 8.7. We have an 8.3. We have a 9. We have an 8. An 8. And we have a 9.5. For a nice 26. Woo! I like those scores, those nice scores with no decimals. It's like 26, just, oh, man. All right. So, how y'all feeling? Feeling good. We are in the Garland District. I don't know about you, but I love the Garland District. It's like my favorite district of Spokane. I'm not even in this area. I just love the milk bottle, even though I'm lactose intolerant. It's worth it. It's worth it. Every time. It's worth it. All right. So, with that said, on deck, we have Abi Harget from Riverside. But up next, I want you to get loud for Kharma Gentry.
Gracefully she moves, golden hair cascading over her shoulders, confidence radiating even as mistakes are made. Years of practice show in her perfected movements, but passion is the force that makes her performance breathtaking. I notice after minutes pass that I have not been breathing, fearful of missing the slightest moment of her grace. Rivers are nothing compared to her flowing movements, focus sewn into the features of her face. I wouldn't be able to tell you if a hurricane hit, for my full attention had been taken, stolen, by the majestic show before me. She wasn't performing for me. She wasn't performing for anyone. She simply moved as though a second away would be the end of all things right. She was timeless, like a moment from a book. Anything around her blurred in my vision, irrelevant compared to even her worst moment. Her face held no smile, but you could tell she was glowing. A passion so hot the sun was envious, and beauty that rivaled that of an angel's, like the moments where the mountains and the sky looked just right. I wanted to save this image, burned into my mind. What couldn't have been more than a minute felt frozen in time. This changed my life as I joined a new culture. The longer I stayed, the more my admiration grew. She is simply a woman too good to be true.
Get loud for Kharma! Judges, can I get those scores? Audience, be ready. No, 3, 2, 1. We have an 8.7. We have a 7.8. We have an 8.3. We have an 8.0. And another 8.0. Boom. Boom. And we have a total score of 24.3 for Kharma. If you like poetry slams, then you will love a poetry event called Broken Mic that happens every Wednesday night. It's all ages, young, elders, everyone alike. Be there, all walks of life intertwined. It's a beautiful evening, and it was created by our judge, Mark Anderson. So, it's the longest ongoing poetry slam that I believe will open open mic poetry slam going on in the entire Northwest, I believe, right? It's up there. Either or, check it out. It's amazing. That's how I got my start in the city. I love it. So Broken Mic, check them out. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., Dollar Grilled Cheese. Yeah, Needle Burrito, be there. So with that said, who we have on deck? We have Creeann Jarman from Riverside. But first, get loud for Abi Harget! Stay loud, she ain't up here yet, come on!
I had never written a eulogy before, but for a concept so dear, one is earned. To introduce myself, I am a friend of the not-so-newly deceased. I am mourning, I grieve for my soft heart, for my naivete, but most of all, I grieve for my sandbox friendships. Sandbox friends come about circumstantially in a way deep and untainted, innocent love. But my sandbox friends have started throwing the shards in my eyes. It stings and burns, but with a certain clarity. Flash forward to the tweenage stage, my old friends have come into their own and learned new ways to throw their sand. Regurgitating hatred and ignorance, it's underdeveloped but grubby and ugly and squirming. So parasitical, untreated, it grows and spreads, squeezing around my internal organs until I convulse with it. I grieve, because my sandbox friends aren't mine anymore. They click, click, click into their little cliques, groups with the same skin, mind, and eyes with which they view the world. They throw their sand in tandem. And God, it hurts. Sand is an exfoliant, sure, but it's exfoliating too deeply. It gets under my skin, and I am raw. But sand is thrown. Sand is thrown when I'm 12 and hear my friend's little brother be told to go back to Mexico. Sand is thrown when you choose to say that word. But only out of habit, you assure me. Sand is thrown within every debate, big and small. As my sandbox friends and I stand in the sandstorm of our own creation, my sandbox friends have died 6 feet deep and I am gagging on the sand. But I mourn them. We are a people divided, a people shrouded in a cloud of confirmation bias and alternative facts. A hate deeper than can be recognized. It's handed down from generation to generation like the ugliest of heirlooms. So my sandbox friends enter adulthood, pre-adulthood really, where they cast something scarier than sand. They cast ballots. Adoring their unchildish freedom, they stand in line, so proud, ready to vote for people that would have their sandbox friends and I cast out. Build a wall, don't say gay, vote it down into a dust, ground into a powder under the heel of your cowboy boot. Yeehaw, baby. This is a damage that cannot be repaired with Scotch tape, a painting with noticeable brushstrokes. I wouldn't know how to repair this. So I am mourning. Sandbox love never dies, but mine has. So I bury my sandbox friendships. There is a heartbeat under the grains of silica dioxide on the playground we grew up on, under Tonka trucks. I know there is potential, but I cannot wait while sand still flies. It grinds me into the powder we bonded in. So I bury and I mourn and I eulogize our sandbox love, but I don't fit in this sandbox anymore. Rest in peace. Thank you.
You beat me to it, but stay loud for Abi! All right. Y'all having a good time? Yeah, we're having a heck of a time, right? Just need some popcorn, you know, we gotta go. It's a brawl out here. You know, the verbal battles, just, whoo, it's pay-per-view. So, of course, you know, we have a second round, but we are only halfway through the first. The sad part is that we are halfway through the first. But the good part is that we have another half for the first. So, all right. So with that said, judges, can I see those scores? 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.8, an 8.6, a 9.3, an 8.5, and a 9. Woo! and the brains of the operation. They're putting together the numbers. Oh yeah, with that said, the Garland Theater, if you haven't been there, you should visit. You know, it's a landmark. You can't be a Spokaneite without visiting the Garland Theater. And you know, and I feel like even if you're not a Spokaneite, you're a visitor. Visit the Garland Theater. You know, and in general, support your local businesses like this fine establishment here. So thank you, Gathering House. And so with that said, we have a 26.9. And I love you too, whoever said that in the crowd. Hey. All right. So with that said, we have Gracie Maier on deck from Lakeside High. But get loud now for Creeann Jarman!
I'm scared to fall asleep at night because it means I have to see you. It means I have to face you, relive you, be you. Every time I close my eyes, I wonder if it'll be different this time. If maybe you'll be absent from this abyss in my mind, I wonder if what they told me was just dreams will ever mean anything. Because they're not just dreams. They're memories. They're moments trapped in time like snow globes, but the glass is broken and the liquid is ice cold. And I wonder, is this reality? Is this really actuality? They told me that my dreams could come true, but my nightmares are dreams too. I just never expected them to actually go through. Because sometimes when I dream, it doesn't make any sense. There's monsters and robots and dogs with 3 heads, but some nights when I'm trying to fall asleep, my mind is filled with distant memories. Memories of times when life was not so great. Stories of places that are so familiar yet not so distinct, and I can't help but think that if my dreams come true, will my nightmares be there too? Will I be cornered in a prison by the person I hate most? Will those memories of my childhood follow me home? Will I ever be able to lose you? Will I ever be able to have hope? Because until I can guarantee that my nightmares are not my dreams, then I'm afraid I just won't sleep. I want to dream of success and a different family. I want to dream of safety and economic prosperity. I wish my dreams were filled with gumdrops and lollipops or sunsets and beaches, anything that could make this nightmare leave my head. But it's stuck on rewind, remind, retime, rethink, relive those horrible achy memories, rewatch what happened over and over again. They will force me to see everything up close and personal as if I didn't already live it. If my dreams come true, can someone arrest my nightmares along the way? Lock them up and throw the key away? Dig a hole and bury them 6 feet deep? Do something so that they stop stalking me. Because no matter where I go, it doesn't matter where I sleep, the amount of blankets I have or the pillows next to me. It doesn't matter if I overdose on melatonin or if my room smells like lavender. I will never be able to get rid of this reminder. Every time I close my eyes, I'll get the recording again. Welcome to your nightmares. Which one would you like to watch next? The same memories spinning in circles around my head. So if you get the chance, unplug the TV in my mind. Throw away the VCR and leave the tapes behind, because my dreams might come true. But that means my nightmares will too.
Get loud for Creeann! Ready? All right, stand by. All right, judges, 3, 2, 1. We have a 9 point. Is that a 1 or a 7? Oh, 9.7. We have an 8.0. We have an 8.4. We have an 8.6. And we got an 8.5. Now, that 9.7 is a lot better than a 9.1. So we have a 25.5. So on deck, we have Owen Miller from East Valley High. But first, gracing the stage next, get loud for Gracie Maier!
Hello. This poem is called What We Began With. And I began with, I love you like an accidental harmony. I love you like slam poetry. I love you like I'm watching you through the rear view mirror. I love you like I'm helping you lift something very heavy. I love you like a forgotten shoe. I love you like we're arguing about what we'll inherit when Mom dies. And Mom and I are talking about what song should be played at our funerals. I love you like I know this is temporary. I know. Something will die, whether that's socially or physically, and that's okay. You need to trim the wilted leaves in order to grow new ones. I love you like I will mourn you. I will be there when your mother breaks down in grief, and I love you like I will join her in it. And when the time comes, I will join you. I love you like I'm willing to know that I will say the opposite. This is temporary. My love for you today might be hatred tomorrow. I love you like beating you at board games, beating you at cards, like crawling under the dinner table because I threw the dice just a little too hard. I love you like I'll learn a new language for you. I love you like a coda. Te amo como voy a escribir this poem for you, mi abuela. I love you like come here. I love you like I need to step out of the room. I love you like take out the trash, clean up your room, and wash the dishes. I love you like these stretch marks. I love you like a chainsaw. They say love is transactional, and I need firewood. I love you like I don't care about the outcome. I'm here and now, and I am willing to face whatever comes at me, whatever form this love comes in until it's approached a point it must die. Maybe it'll revive, but I don't know if it'll come back zombified, and I'm not sticking around long enough to find out. I love you like occasionally I remember you exist. I love you like I wouldn't die for you. I love you like it's eternal. Immortal. I love you like an altered state of mind, losing all sense of time. I love you like I'm drunk. Like the music is pulsing in my ears. I'm stumbling. I have no clue what I'm doing. God is our witness. He is a bartender laughing as I step on your shoes while we're dancing. I love you like we're speaking in tongues. Like something ancient. Like this love was predicted on the subway walls. I love you like this poem will never end. I love you more than what any words could say. I love you more than to finish it. The end.
Stay loud for Gracie! And judges, can I see those scores? 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.1, a 9.6, a 9.0, a 9.0, and an 8.5. And I love you guys like an audience that knows how to boo and praise and, create a good slam. So we have a 27.1. On deck, we have Helena Rink from Riverside High. But get loud now for Owen Miller.
Living life, a drunken soldier. Fighting a war while near everywhere is intoxicating consciousness. Furor, we further suffice to violation, violence, and vice. Having almost never learned to tell cannon fodder from a neighbor, neither a lover nor a hater. Either way, we still never learn. Have we never learned that a palette of color across the canvas of a clear, blank slate gives life to all shades of light and dark, or a rainbow of romance with a hue of beauteous love? To live tomorrow is to live today. in the moment of spare change to those in need. A bidding cent in exchange for authenticity. But as white reflects light, black does it all the same, as do all colors and forces of matter, that in and of they do matter. To all of us who are to kill a mockingbird, or to also destroy benevolence and innocence to one's content, filibustering as much a fissured heart, whose wounds bleed of shade like a plague, as a sequel to the bubonic death, another end as though one wasn't already enough. It's all a pretentious cult of personality, to whom one might say, may this be a war of the palate. And everybody else, against all odds, would deny the snakes his eyes, refusing to lose and continue to dishevel this confounded country, this confounded continent, this confounded world in quibble, riot, and God knows what against him and all. God forbid we make the same mistake thrice.
Give it up for Owen! Judges, can I see those scores? 3, 2, 1. We have an 8.7. We have an 8.4. A 7.8. An 8.0. And an 8.5. Would you like a poem a day? Delivered to your inbox. The Academy, American Poets, and the Library of Congress have teamed up to bring you just that. You can sign up at poets.org, poem a day, and you could get a poem directly to your email. All right. Our total score is a 24.9. On deck, we have E.T. Toboban from Riverside. But up next, get loud for Helena Rink.
Just to preface this, my name is Helena, not Helena.
She's Helena Rink!
Big Beauty says I will never be pretty because mental breakdowns need covered up by CoverGirl concealer and a disgusting yellowed crescent. I will never be pretty. Bright blue eyes need curtains of gold with too much foundation because we're too old to cry, let alone show the streaks they leave behind. I will never be pretty. Chubby cheeks need contour, small lips need big liner, short lashes need curled, and dark bags need cover-up lies. These are Big Beauty standards, and I will never be pretty. Blonde girlies need tiny waist, fair skin, white teeth, blue eyes, and big thighs, but yet no tummy. I will never be pretty. Broken homes need a pretty face, covered in makeup with dark hair, clothes, and a cheap nightlife. I will never be pretty. Smarties need the big glasses, a dorky smile, some pigtails, and to never go to a party. I will never be pretty. Athletes need big biceps, a six-pack, and to lift 180 pounds, and I can't. So I will never be pretty. Loudmouths need big lips, green eyes, and bright red hair of fire. I will never be pretty. I will never be pretty. I will never be pretty. Big Beauty will always tell us that we're not pretty unless we're skinny, but not bony. Curvy, but never fat. Be fair, but not pasty, nor have any melanin. Have no acne, but still look real. Act modest, but still show a little skin. Dress up, but never too much. Wear makeup, but don't kick it on. Look and act young but still be mature. Speak up, but not too loud. Eat up, but that's too much when we go back for our second plate. And to never, ever let ourselves go. Even if we work the night shift and have 3 kids, we still must be pretty. We are told to live up to big beauty standards. But in reality, when will we ever be pretty? Thank you.
Give it up for Helena! Judges, can I see those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? And we have an 8.9, an 8.8, an 8.3, an 8.0, and another 8.0. Left side, man. They're winning the boo competition. Right, you need to step it up. And middle arm right in front of you. Come on. And we have a 25.1. So, we only have 2 poets left in the first round. After those 2 poets, we will know who our top 7 are moving into the second round. So in the meantime, prepare yourself for something electric. On deck, we have Ben Willis from Riverside High. But put your hands together and get loud for E.T. Toboban.
Forgive me, I'm a little short. How did he succeed in his greed, his rise to power so sweet that it's sour, a bare taste that you hate, but his humor and honor, well, it makes you a goner for hearing him hype his ideas to harm those who he hates. But those who he hates are forced out of homes, only one way to go, so why stop? Holocaust. Orders to ostracize those who don't organize into approved orders. Out of the others, it's the friends and the neighbors whose harping's the breaker. You can't get the papers to occupy other residents. So on trains, on watch, on guard, on each other, with so little space and such a tight-fitting case, optimists oppose what they already know, Holocaust. Lists and lines divided, longing for loved ones lost to time. Listen and look, because that's all it took. A lingering seconds enough to teach you a lesson. Labels are cast into your arm with permanent ink in order to link you to a lower level than that of your oppressor, Holocaust. Off of the train, oblivious to the operations they're about to receive that claim to make clean, odor of those who out of the options were proved to be useless, their actions excuseless, and often overlooked is the arrogance of experiments done out of carelessness, oblivious to what waits on the other side of the overwhelming genocide, Holocaust. Concentration camps that are cramped and packed with beds stacked all the way to the ceiling. Conditions are complex, not knowing what is next, careful not to upset those in control, so just watch your own to be certain of survival, Holocaust. Alive and awaiting armed forces, our saviors, abandoned by those who gave a glimmer of hope, so no reason to mope around for those who may never arrive. Where goes the time? Tick, tick, tick. Holocaust. Silence. And shock fill the air. Silence travels through time, and with it the cries of those who struggled to survive just 77 years ago. Holocaust. Thus there begs the issue that today in the street, those who don't meet those certain requirements are targeted for torture and treatment unfit of a human being, because that's what they are. Some may sit up in the stars, but others are around to tell tales of torture that you don't want to think about, because such a tough topic is so hard to talk about, all because it's the Holocaust.
Get loud for E.T. Judges, can I get those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We have a 9. We have another 9. Keep them going. We have an 8.5, an 8.6, and an 8.5. All together now. Hey, all right. Boo, 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 boo. It's like Halloween in here. All right. All right. So we have a 26.1. And so we only have one poet left. And I need you to get loud because this is one poet left before we decide who's going to the finals. So I want you to get loud for Ben Willis!
I open a book and it reads Dr. Seuss and I think to myself, oh, what's the use? But later on, my mind gets to thinking and the words sputter out and my hand takes to inking. Oh, once in a land not so very far away, there lived many people and some were astray. They all had their problems, be it money, be it spite, but every single day they had to fight. Fight for what was wrong, fight for what was right. Some would try to wrestle, some would merely join the throng. Quite a few of them longed for something better, but they made an excuse, be it fear or bad weather. But there were these thoughts in the backs of their minds. Some new ideas could be considered crimes. Better not to try it, better to stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet. And the people that did help and did follow through, they were seen as crazy for their new point of view. Who are they to say our world is bad? I'm gonna go and tell my dad. The people pushed through the streets, they shouted and shoved, they ran to retreats from this world that they loved. Now, some people were different. They had different ways of life. Some people were indifferent, others screamed or grabbed a knife. How dare those people live like that in ways that are so strange? Why can't they see and act like us? They must be quite deranged. The leaders who agreed with this were honored and were loved, but those who disagreed with this were ridiculed, were shoved. So these people went along and accepted the exception. They felt they'd never get a positive reception. And still, these people had many problems of their own, like dusting or paying the bills on the phone, like going to work and engaging in labor so they could be handed a stack of green paper. Paper they worshipped and traded for goods like hats and socks and coats with hoods. And the people lived all over the place, even in alleyways for goodness sakes. But the people disliked those that didn't live in houses. They could carry germs like rats and mouses. Yes, mouses, I said, for some were well read, but most could not tell you a thing a book said. For these people were illiterate. They couldn't read it or consider it. They couldn't read about what they were doing. They couldn't take a minute for viewing. Instead, they stared at little boxes that they held within their hands, viewing their messed up world through an imaginary lens. For these people were astray. They all lived in their own way, be it good or be it bad, be it happy, be it sad. Yes, all these people were the same. They were playing the same game. Yet they all had their problems, be it money, be it spite, but at least they could briefly stall the fight when they laid down their heads to go to bed at night. We should all be thankful this land is not real, because can you imagine how horrible that would feel? Just think it and blink it. Blink till it appears. The sight you see should bring you to tears. Now tell me, can you imagine that? Why, it's just as absurd as a cat in a hat.
Get loud for Ben! And judges, can I get those scores? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.5. A 9.2, an 8.7, an 8.9, and an 8.5. Boom! Sorry. I got the power of a microphone. Ooh. So we have a 26.8 for Ben. And so, Before we go into a short intermission, we have our judges who are our scorekeepers that are tallying our top 7. And with that top 7, of course, there is money involved. And because of that money, we have to give special thanks to the Library Foundation of Spokane County. Because without them, this wouldn't be happening. So, thank you for funding the arts and having creativity run wild throughout this environment tonight. And so, I think we're ready. So before we announce the top 7, can I get a round of applause for every poet this evening? You all made this happen. It doesn't take much. Well, it takes a little bit of effort to be here, but it takes a whole nother to get on this stage and present original work wherever the mind goes and have the confidence to leave this mic and know that you're going to be back up here to do it again. So to be at this point of this event is a wonder, and you should be proud of yourself, because I am of each and every last one of you. And I know your family, your friends, your schools you're represented, they are proud of you as well. So let's get into this. Your top 7. First up, we have Aitken. We also have Eleanor Brown. We have Ava Bryant. Abi Harget, Gracie Maier, Toboban, and Ben Willis. That is our top 7. And of course, we're going to take a quick intermission. If you don't know your neighbor to your left or to your right, shake their hand, say hi, get to know them. They're enjoying this event, and we're all in this together. So with that said, let's take a 10-minute intermission. We'll be right back. Thank the poets, thank each other, and we'll be back. Welcome back. This is the Grand Slam between North Poetry and Spokane Valley. And so, with that said, we have our top 7. I want you to get loud as I introduce every last one of them to this next round, to the final round. Get loud for Ben Willis from Riverside, Toboban from Riverside, Gracie Maier from Lakeside, Abi Harget from Riverside, Ava Bryant from Ridgeline, Eleanor Brown from Riverside, and Aitken from Ridgeline High. And that is your top 7. Poets, you know what to do. You're going to throw it down. Judges, you know what to do. We resent you, but we love you at the same time. With that said, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? On deck, we have Toboban. But get loud one last time for Ben Willis!
Space, a vast expanse of nothingness, the unbound limits of imagination, the imagination that comes from the minds of those who seek to understand. Stars twinkling in that limitless blanket that holds me tight and gives me warmth and comfort as I gaze into its depths with unbound wonder. Always there, sometimes hidden by the light from the star of the world upon which we stand. A single world in a vast expanse of nothingness. A world drowned in a light, a hallucination that this minuscule planet is the center of reality. But the truth is, it's just a grain of sand in an endless ocean. And near that grain, billions of tiny little pebbles in a hula hoop of rocks hurling forward in an endless cycle around that rock and that ball of gas that couldn't care less. One single rock wobbles back and forth a little bit more. Left, right, fear. Fear that is generated from not knowing. Why are we here? Fear of falling into that vast expanse, fear of losing everything, reflecting on this world, this life, a life that is happy, a life that is peaceful, a life that is fulfilling. A life with the same old obstacles, the same old figments of reality that we devised. No happiness, no peace, no fulfillment until we have time to think. We surround ourselves with individual threads of reality, stitch by stitch, but it's all a fantasy. Reality is what we want it to be. And when we see the world at its base, the world at its darkest light, the darkness of space, the darkness of night, we feel alone. Questions, so many questions. Are we living life, or is life out there? Is this everything there is, or are we just a speck of insignificant dreams in a world that strives to be what it is not? Little do we know that all those asteroids, all those little pebbles wobbling back and forth are feeling just the same. Left, right, fear. Fear that is generated from not knowing. Why are we here? We all wonder. That one little asteroid wobbles back and forth a little bit more, accelerating faster and faster, finally tipping over the edge, falling into that vast expanse of nothingness. Yet that nothingness is everything. Seeing nothing, yet seeing everything. Time to think, time to know. A feeling of being alone in this vast universe. A feeling of solitude. We spend too much time focusing on this small world. The real world is much more expansive than politics, social media, the internet, school, or any other troubles so common in our woven reality. We need not focus on such trivial things when we can merely look to the stars and see it all. In the darkness of night, in the darkness of space. Space, a vast expanse of nothingness. Nothing, yet everything.
Give it up for Ben! Coming in hot on the finals. Judges, can I see those scores? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.4, an 8.9, an 8.6, an 8.4, and a 9. And our final score. We have a 26.5 for Ben Willis. On deck, we have Gracie Maier from Lakeside. But get loud one more time for E.T. Toboban!
I had to double check this at the right height. Wood and twigs litter the ground that surrounds the steed as it races after its sun, shining down its warmth on the lively meadow where a playful puppy long forgets the bone it once did bury, after bury falls to the ground, littering with the wind, the gentle sounds of autumn. This wind leaves the bush bare and cub together, searching through the swirling stream for salmon, swimming up for the season, splashing against the tide to earth, are the souls of creatures who once fell to the ground in slumber and have ceased to wake. Their memory shines through time, illuminating that they will be missed. Fans off the waterfall as it radiates over the edge of the stone wall, gently caressing the nose of the squirrel
and gently petting back its hairs. And rabbits are so similar yet so different. While the bunny burrows itself in its burrows, the hare finds itself shelter in forms which in the ground it does whole. Groups of birds flying together, making homes in the skies, flying so high as to not threaten the lion sitting upon his throne. To the wind are the cares of the wolf, thriving together like birds of a feather perched on the rock, and towards the moon they let out their wails. Deep in the ocean, depths in which no human can reach, and yet they swim with such grace. Through soothing sounds do they communicate to tell the truth of their tale of a playful kitten, swaying like weeds in the wind, kneading below its own into the pillows like bread dough eyes, looking up to the moonlit sky, breaking first strides by running through time towards a stunning dear Mother Earth. You are more beautiful than we could ever comprehend, and yet we will fight till the end, searching for the reason behind your beauties, like it is our God-given duty. So let us search the expanse of the earth, examine the ground where we stood, being so kind if you would.
For E.T. So of course, anytime a poet is up here, and if they're not on this mic, you don't be quiet yet. Like get loud until they are all the way on this mic, please. I want them to feel like this is the finals. Like I am here. So this is your family, friends, your peers. So please stay loud as they make their way all the way to this mic. And then, can we do that? All right. Thank you. That's all I can ask. So judges, can I see those scores? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a 9.2, an 8.7, an 8.3, an 8.5, and a 9.5. And scorekeepers, we have a 26.4 for E.T. Toboban. On deck, we have Abi Harget from Riverside. But get loud one more time for Gracie Maier.
Love you too. Hi, my name is Gracie Maier, as you know. And this poem is called Stars of You. The stars are so proud to know that their atoms have created you. The stars are not liars, only lovers, searching with pride that their infinite amount of electrons and protons and neutrons have created someone like you. Upon the Big Bang led your creation. The incredible force that pulled these three particles together, this force that was of one thing, love. Love for you. They light up the sky with such a pride and appreciation for you as their creation. They are as proud of you as they are of the birds and the bees, of the grass that you step on and bristles against your feet. Every time you feel a song and your heart marches with the beat. Every time you learn something new. Every time you take a breath. And every second you exist. Every time you witness a leaf fall. Every time you tell someone you love them. For that is their creation too, and you are attracted to the rest of humanity and the rest of the universe like protons are to electrons. And although they did not mean for hatred and anger to rift into your existence, it must be done. Sometimes things aren't attracted, for sometimes there has to be the neutron, the middleman, the one singled out. Stars are proud of you, even when you're at your worst. when you break people's hearts and shout and yell and shake in spite and bitterness, when you feel like you can't take it anymore, that there is nothing to live for and that nobody loves you, this is not true. The stars are not liars, only lovers. They love you. No matter what bad or good deeds you have done, they love you for living and functioning and moving and existing. They are proud of you. When you look around and see your company as an empty hall of nothingness, know that it isn't. Those walls and that hall and the locked doors you can't open and the floor that's unclean are all proud of you. That everything is made of stars and stars are made of you. And they will all be so proud of this until the end of time, when the black holes open up and meet each other and kiss and will swallow all of the debris in this romantic endeavor. They will still be so proud. Even when they have disappeared into true darkness and there's nothing to see and nothing to be seen and there will no longer be stars and there will no longer be you. Even then, stars will be proud of creating stars of you. Thank you.
For Gracie and judges, can I see those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We have a 9.5, a 9.2, a 9.4, a 9.5, and a 9. It's still a 9. Come on. You got to get that out. We have a 28.1. On deck, we have Ava Bryant from Ridgeline High. But now, get loud one more time for Abi Harget.
It's a girl. My mother's doctor told my parents this when they had already picked out a biblical name, a name carefully selected so I would be a good man in the way only a man can be. The first time I was told to hate being a woman, I was cross-legged in a church nursery. Women are weak. They can't resist doing what they know is wrong, and they tempt others to do wrong too. As women, we will always take a bite of the apple and give in to the serpent. So as women, we must bleed, we must cry, we must writhe under the pain of our sins. Amen. I do apologize for my blasphemy, but God has never loved a woman the way I do. Womanhood is more than my XX chromosomes. I am a woman because I'm lesser than. I am a woman for the instant gratification of pleasure over holiness. I am a woman because I deserve the pain of Eve's sins. Not all women menstruate, but God, if we don't all bleed, a bleeding womanly heart aches. I'm a woman, too dirty for purity culture, but clean enough to wear the overpriced ring, clothed in an off-white dress and ready for you. I am a woman, but I don't know what a woman is. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was asked to define being a woman, and the jury's still out on that, but Margaret Atwood taught me that womanhood is running from a gaze that isn't mine but internalized, and my mother taught me that womanhood is getting split open and suturing yourself. And the church taught me that I am a wife, a bearer of God-fearing men. But I am not Sarah, mother of Isaac, declared unfit to be mother of nations. I am not a sinner washed clean. I am not a clean woman. I don't know what I am. If I am not washed clean, if I am condemned to the fiery pits, then I am enthused to be a fiery woman. I spit flames with my words, and my syntax can burn, and the smoke rises. My candle is lit by the fiery women before me, blazing ahead, the path still smoldering. We are wrong, we are brazen, we are women. All of our worst traits are his best. Isn't that fun? I am taught to hate being a woman when you belittle my ignorance and scoff through your own uncertainty, but I love being a woman. I love being a mixture of every woman I've ever loved, ever held, ever fought, ever kissed, ever known. We are a force. I love my fire and the debris of destruction it creates, not daring to clean it up. I am dirty. I catch the ash on my tongue like pure snowflakes, and I smile. I was born to be a nasty woman. Thank you.
Give it up for Abi! And judges, can I see those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We have a 9.8, a 9.0, a 9.2, a 9.5, and another 9.5 for Abi. And that final score, we have a 28.2. On deck, we have Eleanor Brown from Riverside High, but get loud one more time for Ava Bryant. Get loud!
This poem is titled Seasick. An enigma, mind, body, and soul, as deep, intricate, and mind-boggling as that of an octopus. Each layer of the ocean written as phases of the night, descending into an unknown abyss, reflecting as more and more pieces of the puzzle, constructing the disaster representing the identity I wield. Handcrafted and hand-destructed by yours truly. Each person I meet in my life unknowingly contributes a scrap of their personality to the mess of shells and barnacles piled upon my head, shielding myself from the unseeing eyes of pajama sharks and the vulturous tendencies of moray eels, hunting me as I slip through the wash of sea kelp and algae, trying desperately to match my bumpy flesh to the sickening deep sea green of leaves and branches, and yet my blue ring spots still shine through the mask. The moon pushes and pulls on the tide, the very current that carries me home, knocking off the loose shells and stones that acted as my shield, the disguise that persuaded the giant clams and abalones that I am not a threat and I possess the same qualities of the mollusk as they do, despite having no true outer shield and 8 times the amount of limbs. My shroud is swept into the swirling waters above my head, revealing my vulnerable true form, discussing the shellfish and drawing in the eels. The tornado of oysters and scallops taunts me just out of my reach, reminding me that my uniqueness, no matter how thoughtfully pieced together, it cannot withhold against the strength of the sea. My abnormal fleshy limbs exposed to the lingering predators surrounding me is a warning that the pieces of rock and shell wrongly stolen from the snails and the crabs cannot hide the blue ring spots that pinpoint the alien-like creature that sparks wonder in the empty heads of the ocean, feeding the hunger of those who crave mystery until eventually I elude their clumsy grasp and duck into a nearby conch to merely observe. Peeking around the corner with my bright, curious eyes, bright and blue and big enough to see the past, present, and future, too intelligent for my own good and unsure of what to do with the knowledge that the handiwork of my identity is inevitably messy and unstable, and capable of fooling those with enough sense to dissect the fabrication of an exoskeleton created from the scraps upon the ocean floor. I'm seeking deeper into the shell until the wounds to my ego are healed enough to re-enter the rash and promising waters that will undoubtedly remind me of who I truly am. The tide draws me back, sharp horns and meticulously curled arms, disguising myself, yet still catching dirty looks from the clownfish and bright red lobsters, realizing that they will never know what hides under the bundle of this chromatic veil, and that the one being in this vast ocean that sees me as what I truly am is the ocean herself, claiming me as one of her alien-like, uncontrollable creatures who learns to embrace the blessings on the bottom of the ocean floor as invitations to enhance the mystifying way of my mind, body, and spirit, instead of ways to hide it and blend in with the rest.
Give it up for Ava! And judges, can I see those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We have a 9.1, a 9.0, a 9.1, an 8.9, and a 9.8 for Ava. I could go for some ice cream right now. No, I'm saying. All right, we have a 27.2. Slam, we are down to only 2 poets left. Can I get on something? Come on now, come on. But the good thing is these 2 next poets are going to bring it just like the past 5. So you have something to look forward to. And so with that said, on deck we have Ali Aitken from Ridgeline High. But get loud one more time for Eleanor Brown.
I was drafted. Just a short 17 years ago, I was selected. But they're not selective. They'll take anyone who is receptive to fight in a war they've already won. I was drafted. But I wish it didn't happen. My name is not Marionette, but they are my puppet masters, my odd figure forced in starched fatigues that don't quite fit me. I drown in green and brown, covering up my sharp elbows and knobby knees to look, act, and be like everyone else in the synonymous 7 C's. I was drafted, and so were you. We're soldiers in formation, bleak uniforms of our creation, standing at attention. Waiting for corporal social media and sergeant's trend and fad, we salute the flag of the United State of Complacency. And we stand there, with our hand held to our head, blank, glossy looks shadowing dread, and lap up the orders and the insults laid down at our feet and posted on our feeds. They're saying, you must have balance. You must look and act the same, yet have talent. You must never show your age, but be mature. Everyone must know your name, but your life story is an enigma, according to Section 4-3, Revisement B of the Great Document of Stigma. We are training each day for a military we hate. We squirm uncomfortably in place in stagnant fashion, because this war has been ongoing since 1997. When social media showed its face and took control, sentencing us all to life in camouflage without parole. Camouflage found in both our uniforms and our souls. Because if we don't protect the prevaricative perfection of our personality, our protection is anywhere but guaranteed by the US of C, the United State of Complacency. Our anthem, please, oh please, have patience under the surface bubbling up is our true person. We are ready to come forth and show our strange ways, to shed our baggy cover-ups and uncover our nooks and crannies, wrinkles and hand-me-down failures, fault lines and quirky behaviors. For we, the true men and women for the act of opening the curtain, will form the Republic of Eccentric. Everyone is granted entrance with a birth certificate and a license to feel, create, and be, and the 2 most important documents, the coming out of your shell affidavit and proof of personality.
Give it up for Eleanor. And judges, can I get those scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We have a 9.9, a 9.2, a 9.1, a 9.8, and a 9.5 for Eleanor Brown. And our final score is a 28.5. We don't have anyone else on deck, but we got one more poet ready to deliver that fire to warm your souls. Get loud one more time for Ali Aitken!
This poem is called Cracks in the Closet. Let me tell you a story, something that's been on my mind as of late, about a dear friend of mine and how he spends his days. People wonder about him. Why is our friend so far away, they say? A beast, an animal, must have taken him from here, dragged him off his steady path into the dark, where there is no light of day. These people who wonder aren't completely wrong, per se. It's just hard to tell why he disappeared, whether this beast's claws sting of violence or shame. Is it because he can't defend his best friend's new name, or is it that those around him pushed him away, told him to stay on that waiting list, hold off till another day? Either way, he does wait. Each day he hides alongside the skeletons in his closet for fear of being found out, swallows his words for fear of being told he's too loud, shrinks in on himself and keeps his head down for fear of being told he's too bold, too devout to something of which he'll grow out of. It's all been a lost cause. He is lost because he is in a maze and he can't find a way out. He is hidden so deep in his closet, he's never going to find a way out. And he tries to live with it, keep his stupid name on the waiting list, make friends with the millipedes, play ball with the dust bunnies, hold the hands of the skeletons beside him. But the longer he's in there, the more he longs for the light. Peeking through the cracks in the closet, he lays on his side at night, gazing under the closet door, watching everyone else live happy lives, and still can't work up the courage to get off the floor for fear of being told he's wrong, he's misguided, he's the one at fault. And if he stays here forever, he sure as anything is going to waste away, have more in common with the skeletons beside him than any living thing. Those of you that know this story know all too well what I'm trying to say, that living in the dark closet is not living at all, not fully anyway. That kind of darkness can make happiness feel heartless, can make love seem so far away. And we can gaze through the cracks in the closet for as long as we want, looking at others, longing for love from what we deem a safe distance, avoiding make-believe disasters. But until we take a risk and let ourselves be loud, no one will ever understand who we are and how important it is to be ourselves. No one will know how much courage it takes to step out in a world that is so full of hate. No one should be held victim to that fear of being found out. And to wrap up this story about our friends so far away, well, maybe it won't be for a while. Maybe it'll be a longer wait, but one day that boy hiding in the dark will gaze through the cracks in the closet one last time, say goodbye to the millipedes, kiss the skeleton's hands for good, and step out into a morning that shines. And I know when that day comes, he'll finally see that he is loved, that his courage outweighs all the pain.
Give it up for Ali! Judges, one more time, can I see those scores? And audience, one more time, can I rely on you to express how you feel, to let those emotions fly? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, brace for impact. We have a 9.8. An 8.8, a 9.1, a 9.3, and a 9.5. And we have Blast Off. $8.8? Yeah. Boo. There we go. Boo. Anytime I even say anything, hey, I just want to hear boos. Come on. And we have a 27.9 for Ali Aitken. So that concludes our final round of the Grand Slam. While our scorekeepers tally everything together, I'm just going to ask you all, chocolate or vanilla? All right. Huckleberry. All right. I'm glad I didn't hear anyone say froyo, so, you know, no. I like froyo, but, you know, if I'm going in, I'm going all the way. Ice cream, yes. You know, you got a little bit of everything in this area. You know, you got Ferguson's. You know, if you like Johnny Depp, there you go. You know, the Garland Theater. I know at least a handful of you, myself included, know the Time Warp. Come on. So, come on. With that said, I introduce Dana Menino, exceptional librarian who is going to be giving out the prizes to our winners in gratitude to the Library Foundation of Spokane County. Can I hear a round of applause for them one more time? Are you ready? All right. Can I get a round of applause for every poet that read tonight? Can we get even louder for our finalists? Can we get even louder for our host, the Gathering House? And can we get rushes for each and every last one of you being here tonight? Ah! All right, let's do this. In third place, we have Eleanor Brown. Get loud. And each poet, I want you to stay up here because your fans and family alike want to take photos. So, you know, you want to strike a pose, look smooth, you know, however you like the pose. Just do it. You know, stand by the microphone even, you know, like, hey, all right. In second place, we have Abi Harget. Get loud. There we go. And our Grand Slam champion, hailing from Lakeside High, we have Gracie Maier! Maier! Get loud! And these are your Grand Slam winners. And each and every last one of you are a winner for being here tonight. Can we get a round of applause for our judges who allow us to boo them and cheer on these great poets of the evening? Can we give it up for Dana for helping organize this? The Gathering House, yourselves, everyone. With that said, I'm Twan Simultaneous, and this was a good night. Peace out. We're done. We're done.